Yeah, there she is.
It's worth challenging, they should do.
She's the one that's in charge.
Yeah, so she's in charge, so if you want to know about the names, you can ask Woodbine about it. In fact, we should ask her.
Like that, I just want to make sure that my officers or someone in your party is letting them know that you're bobbing down, because the last thing I want you is to be hit, okay? Alright, so if my officers are talking to the farmers, they're just letting them know that you're bobbing down in front of the vehicle just for your own safety, okay? Alright.
Could I have an official response, please, on officers not giving their names as part of their identification situation?
The epaulets of their identification is the numbers of their identification. If they're dealing with an offence, then they need to give out their name.
If they're dealing with an offence, they need to give out their name.
Right, stop search.
They need to give out their name. Sorry, I'm trying to log that.
That's fine, that's fine.
So when all the David Carrick and Wayne Cousins sing and all that kind of stuff... What?
So if someone does a stop search on someone, otherwise they stop and count them and need to search them, there's a saying that the police have, which is go wisely, and part of that is they have to identify themselves. Watch yourself, sir. Sorry, I didn't mean to touch you like that.
That's all right, that's okay. I understand in that situation.
Watch your foot, sir. I know, but I still don't want you being driven over.
So I watched the Police and Crime Commission on Thursday, and there was, Smelly was talking a lot about
Mr. Smelly.
Carrick and, well, respect earned. We're talking about Carrick and Cousins and how bad the Met is, and how you're saying there's no difference between the Met and Norwich Police, Norfolk Police. And when that happened, the Met was full of we should get more ID out of officers if we're just approached by them. Really, we should be able to ask for identification. So how does that work here when there's a situation going on and everyone's refusing to identify apart from their numbers?
Last time
I was here, one of the officers was saying, I think you can do a freedom of information request if you want my name. Now, if obviously an officer abuses a member of the public, having to go through that extra leap of doing a freedom of information request, a victim is not going to go ahead and do that, or it's going to make things so much more difficult.
I've given you my name because I don't have an identifying collar number on me. Officers have identifying collar numbers, that is their identifier. I've given you my name because you don't have that. All right, sir? I just need to brief my officers now.
I've got a memo from the MPs.
This is insane. So we're now at 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, at least 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. 11 officers. No, 12, 11, 12, 13. 13, I didn't count the men in blue.
I'll give you a chance.
Am I safe sitting here?
I don't know, are you a metre away from anything, and do you need reminding that you're a metre away from something?
I'm more than a metre away.
Okay.
If I do need reminding.
Okay, you're more than a metre away from something, please take care.
Oh, am I? All right.
Yeah. Watch your feet, watch everything, watch your hands, your fingers, your toes.
Oh, my arm.
Oh! I'm claiming. Hey, he's not got his hands on the wheel! Hands on the wheel!
Oh, it's laughing boy.
Let's having a laugh about what an offence he's just caused. Okay, there's about 2 metres.
Okay.
This seems like a bit of a risk to me.
Yeah. Hang on. No, don't touch it.
Okay, just be careful, alright? Be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful with your words, because they may be cutting as well.
Yeah.
We don't need any verbal bleeding.
No.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, I saw one there. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're on 15 now.
15?
I think 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're on 15. Why?
I bet you were saying
The problem is, I want to go and ask her why have we got 15 officers here, but I know the response is going to be, well, we decided to have 15 officers here. There's no information about what's actually happening at all.
They're just here
It's
to
just-
have enough officers to initiate any arrests. So basically, once it starts backing up to the roundabout, which it will,
Oh, so they can have like 3 or 4 people on one person at a time?
yeah, so they can demand right out the road, you're causing a significant
Right,
disruption.
okay.
That's their plan. That's
Okay.
why they're not guiding any vehicles around.
No fuckers touching me.
They will. I think there's going to be quite a few vegan lasagnas eaten today.
You reckon?
I reckon.
You really reckon that?
Yeah. Because once it gets to peak time, traffic builds up quickly. They'll try and get them through after like 5 seconds of stopping.
He's what?
I'm like, no, that's not happening.
He was that one, wasn't he?
I'm disturbed.
Yeah.
It wasn't in that car, no.
Mind you, I'm always disturbed because I think I've noticed that you guys always go for, what's the phrase? The worst outcome as the most likely option. And obviously a lot of times, you're right. That's the problem.
I just know these guys do it too.
But I think, yeah, last couple of times I've been here, we've all been worried about an arrest or something, so fingers crossed. I tried having a conversation with that thing, which, I mean, how do you run after a criminal with like that? Seriously, I'm not being trying to be rude or anything, but how do you run after a criminal?
You just got to hope that you...
How do you jump over a fence? How do you do anything? I mean, if you can't even get your trousers out from between your butt cheeks and be professional, then how are you supposed to catch a criminal? Oh no, they don't catch criminals because only 10% success rate. That's why. 10% success rate. Proud that slightly above the national average at some point when the national average was 7%, with 9%. Woo! You're really doing your jobs well there and solving loads of crime and stopping people from being hurt and maimed. And 10%. Is that why you joined the police force? To only solve 10% of crime? To be completely and utterly ineffective and just stand around gaining weight?
Fair, you don't need to be fair, you just need there to be enough of you.
I guess so.
You can tail on to the end. It's exhausting.
You don't need to be fit, you just need to have enough numbers so you can bully people, that's all you need. It's unfathomable that this is all over the news and that confidence in the police is at the lowest it can possibly be. And they're not making any further effort than they could have done 6 months ago.
As long as they're
Confident in themselves and confident in having enough people around them to start bullying anyone. 10% success rate. If I had that success rate having a shit in the morning, I would be just covered in my own feces.
Or in a hospital.
Or in a hospital. To be fair, their 10% success rate is
Yeah, you
when...
can only shit 10% of the times you actually try.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a surgeon with 10% success rate.
10%, yeah. You just wouldn't have your
if
job anymore. You just wouldn't be doing any job. Exactly. You'd be sacked immediately. 10% success rate. Sacked immediately in any other job. Any other job.
Yeah.
How?
So back to the Porsche bit in a minute.
Good God.
Even as a lorry driver, if you only delivered 10% of your load.
Yeah, you'd be sacked immediately. Just no one would deal with it. Any other job, and you just wouldn't get away with it at all. But for some reason, these guys get protected completely. And armed. They get given things to hit people with.
But there again, look at the government.
Well, 10% of them are effective as well, yeah. Well, probably less.
The stuff that they're trying to...
There's a van coming down the pit. Oh, no, it's fine, never mind. I was going to say when it stops, it'll be blocking the Porsche junction. It's not coming down this far.
Okay, clear.
What's amazing is that having the police and crime commissioner of all of Norfolk Police saying this on a live stream on Thursday morning, and for some reason all the police themselves don't even know these things happen. They don't have the same opinion as their own chief of how ineffective they are. Their egos won't let them get better as officers. Their egos keep them the same as they are. 10%!
And the laser
The laziness, yeah. Well, the laziness is apparent. It's apparent in the health levels.
Yeah, I don't really get it.
Because in order to change, you've got to put some effort in. You've got to
Yeah,
want to change.
you have to make an effort, yeah. You can't just say, oh, no, I'll just consider the context if someone gets hit by a car. I'm not going to answer that question at all because I'm too busy not solving 90% of any of my job.
No, but 90% of it is they sit on it for about a month and then decide to NFA it due to lack of evidence.
To be fair, NFA after sitting on it for a month is probably, that's probably 100% success rate
Yeah.
for them.
Like they could have a video of somebody stabbing another person and then saying their name, address and why they killed the person and the person they killed, and it would still be lack of evidence.
Well, it'll be the person's fault for running into a knife.
Yeah.
It was your stupid fault for standing in the way of a knife or a speeding bullet.
Yeah.
Dangerous firing.
He has the right to stab you.
Yeah. This is freedom of expression.
Yeah, he's a chef and you were getting in the road from being a chef.
Exactly.
So he stabbed you.
He
So
thought
it's
he
right.
thought there was a lettuce behind you. 10%. 10%. It's shocking. Absolutely shocking. Oh man. It's annoying that the head of the operation is here and there's no question I can think of that I'm going to get any kind of answer out of her. I tried talking to her already and there's no...
She's very closed.
Yeah.
Closed off.
Yeah, that's why she's got promoted, I guess. She's very good at saying absolutely nothing, like we were watching last night.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got a big one coming.
If it is, it's probably shouldn't himself.
Okay, so they've changed their minds about the concept of no one being allowed on that side of the road now.
I did ask. I said, "Can you still let B&Q people through?" And they said, "Yeah." They
Oh,
still
okay.
do.
So it's not. So it's just not this side of the road. This bit here.
So we're affecting these businesses then,
Right.
today, isn't it?
Okay.
Is that it? Are we stopped? He's folded his arms.
Harumph.
That was
We need a
statement.
sign saying harumph. What is this gaggle of yellow? It's ridiculous.
The exact same colours from the car.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Flashing lights on her head.
Right now, 90% of all crime in Norwich is being completely, utterly ignored. And we've got like 15 people. What? Really? Really?
Have a nice
I mean, I will, unless I encounter any of you guys again, I guess. And certainly if someone commits crime against me, it's just pointless ringing you. 10%. 10%. You should think about that instead of just saying, have a good day, sir. You could be doing your job properly and, you know, building a bridge instead of just staring off into space and ignoring me. 10%. 10%. Do I need to list maybe victims that 90% are being ignored?
So what percentage success rate do they have?
It's 90% of all rape victims completely ignored. 10%.
It's probably even more than 90% of rape victims, to be fair.
To be fair, yeah, because there's not going to be that many, not as many reported. If the solving rate is so low, why would people report? Why would victims report? If you're not identifying properly, why would victims go for freedom of information requests to get your details just to put a complaint in? All you're doing is making it more difficult.
Either of you should go to Bethel Street later.
10%. Nothing but disappointing.
You're giving us loads of advice about how to protest here and should never been.
telling us all about it.
Telling us about how we forget to rest of the focus of our life, which it doesn't.
10% of crime, but 100% of if you happen to have a toe in the road.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when we lived in Cornwall, there was a bloke actually, it was reported on the local radio at the time. He came home from work, went down his kitchen to make himself a cup of tea, looked out down his garden and sees some ne'er-do-well breaking into his shed.
Right.
And he phoned the police up and he said, there's somebody breaking into my shed, come and get him now, and you know, you're catching red-handed. And they went, oh, we've got nobody available, and they ended the call. So literally about a minute later I rang them back and he went, about that chappie breaking into my shed, don't bother sending anybody now because I've shot him. 5 minutes later, the streets full of police cars and vans and all sorts of shit, police everywhere. And they go down the shed and they catch this bloke completely unharmed. And they said to this bloke, I thought you said you shot him. And he said, I thought you said you've got nobody available.
Exactly. You having fun standing around doing naff all?
Mind yourselves.
Yeah, they're earning overtime.
Oh look,
Not early,
I've got to turn the road.
They're getting paid overtime.
What was that last crime you solved? What was the last bit of detective work you did that was successful? Building a bridge between the police and the public. Definitely feel more confidence when I read those stories about all the rapists and murderers that are in the police force. I'm going to feel way more confidence after talking with you about your hypotheticals and not answering any fucking questions at all. 10%.
This is the one that I've never put in a database. I probably should. Yeah.
It's too premature, Jeffrey. They're selling the dead bodies, the ones going in.
So say that again, I didn't understand what you were talking about then. What's going on?
Oh, the police officer was just saying to him, are you going to the back? And I was just saying, no, they're going in to feed the people in there with the dead bodies and the animals that have previously been in there.
I think I'm still confused. That's okay though, that happens a lot. Has anything happened with, I saw the footage of someone being shoved 2 weeks ago. Has anything happened?
Oh, yeah, it was recent.
Has anything happened? Any follow-up from anything? Or what was the outcome?
She hasn't
Or?
said anything. Well, they didn't arrest.
They didn't arrest,
No,
okay.
They didn't arrest.
I'm watching the
They
video.
wanted to
It
know
looks
what
a
she
bit like
wanted
you.
to do about it.
Right.
So they didn't act straight away. They got his details.
No.
I don't know if they got ID
that's
from
not
him
you.
to prove his details.
Right, yeah. Do they know who she is already? Do they have her details? I'm assuming she's been here
Yes,
for a
because
while.
they
and-
arrested her for
Right, okay.
doing this.
Oh,
to
that was,
the
yes, okay,
farmers.
yeah.
That was a common
Well,
assault
you
and
actually
arrestable,
you
but
come
that
back here
barge
and
wasn't.
this guy's just-
And I would imagine they stepped in and arrested her immediately as well. Right,
And
okay.
handcuffed her, and she's 17.
Wow,
Handcuffed
it's
her.
insane. Don't care about a woman being
You think about
assaulted.
all the TV programmes that constantly have swearing in it.
Exactly, it's
And
ridiculous.
really offensive stuff in it, and yet you say something in the street
Yeah.
as an activist, and all of a sudden it's the worst thing
Yep.
in the world.
It's clearly being used, being targeted at certain people. Yeah. I realised there's just you in the road there, and you were edging towards. Yeah, I realised I was doing over here. Just up and having a chat.
I thought there was someone next to me.
You've got fuck all peripheral vision, haven't you?
Mind
Clear.
yourself.